Hey guys, and welcome to another one of Rich and Jen's adventures. And this is a little different today because this is going to be a cooking adventure. As you know, Rich and I like to review restaurants and we are sort of foodies, but we don't really like to go out more than once a week. So we do a lot of cooking at home. And I like to cook stuff that's quick, relatively easy, but tasty and easy to clean up. So I thought we'd do a little test and see what you guys thought and maybe sprinkle in a little bit of cooking videos every now and again. So I guess if you guys are ready, let's go. So the first thing I want to do real quick is tell you what we're going to make today. Today we're going to do some bacon wrapped shrimp and we're going to sear that on top of the stove. This is really good, really easy. And what I want to talk about today is the shrimp. Now these shrimp here are hopper shrimp. They're a pink shrimp that comes out of Key West. We got these when we were down in Florida on our little trip at Thanksgiving and I froze them up. But I do buy a lot of shrimp here in Sevierville, and what I usually look for when I go into Publix or Kroger is I go to the frozen shrimp section, but I try to always look for a wild caught shrimp. Usually they're in 1 or 2 pound bags frozen and they are wild caught, individually quick frozen, so you can take out as many as you want and thaw them. Most of the time they're headed, and I usually like to buy the ones that have the shell on. You can, of course, buy the ones that have the shell off, but I just feel like I know the quality of them a little bit better if I can see the shell. So the first thing we're going to do is peel them, and I want to give you another little trick here that I have done for years. It makes cleanup super easy. I always get a piece of aluminum foil. I roll it on the edges so if any water or liquid, it doesn't run on my counter. When I'm done, I can just ball the whole thing up, put it in the freezer, and that way I can put it just like that till I go to the, take it out to the trash. That way it doesn't stink up your garbage, and you can leave it in the freezer for a few days until your garbage comes or until you make a garbage run. I also use this a lot for things like peeling potatoes. I just peel them right on this, throw them in the rinse bowl, ball it up, throw it away. Just makes one of those things that easier to do for cleaning up later. So the first thing we're going to do is going to peel these shrimp, and this is called a shrimp deveining tool. Now, a lot of people will use a knife, and a knife is, you know, it's usable, but I always like this, and I'm going to show you why. All you have to do, each shrimp has like a little hole right here, and that's where the head was attached. So you take this tool, you put it right down the back of the shrimp. If you want the tail on, you push it out this joint, put your finger against the shell, and pull it off. Okay, and that pretty much deveins it. You can see on the peeler here that the vein is inside that shell. Most of the time that's what happens. If it doesn't, then you can just pull it out. Now today for this recipe, I'm going to take the shell off. So what I'm going to do is push it all the way through, put my finger against the shell and pull it off. This one, the vein stayed in, but it's already open, so all I have to do is pull it out and put it in the trash. So this is something that's quick and easy. Like I said, you can use a knife. You can get these at a seafood market, or you can order them on Amazon for a couple of bucks. I keep one in the camper. I keep one at the house. They're great, and they're really a time saver. So we're going to go ahead and peel all these shrimp, and when we're done, we'll come back and we'll show you the next step. So through the magic of YouTube, we're done peeling our shrimp, which doesn't really take very long. Honestly, it took me just about 3 or 4 minutes. And this is what I do. What I was telling you is, see, I just take this. Now I've got all my shells and all my scraps. Ball it up. Okay, got it ready to go. And then I just pop it in the freezer until the next garbage day. All right, so we've got our shrimp peeled, and the next things that you need are a pack of bacon. And what I do is these shrimp just need to be wrapped in about a half a piece. So I just take my scissors and cut the bacon in half. These shrimp, by the way, are a 21 to 25 count shrimp. And you want to look for something between 26 to 30 count per pound shrimp and 16 to 20 count per pound shrimp. And basically what that means is that's how many shrimp come in a pound. Because those are going to be a good size for you to wrap in the bacon. If you get anything much smaller, it's going to be a lot of work, and then the bacon is going to be done and the shrimp are going to be overcooked. So if you get this size, that works really well for this type of cooking. The other thing that we're going to use is this blackening seasoning. Now, years ago when I had my career, I worked in the seafood industry, and we sold a very mild blackening seasoning. So even though I'm not in that field anymore, I still buy this from one of the purveyors, and I buy it in bulk and just put it in my container. But you can use any kind of a blackening seasoning that you like. You could also use a lemon pepper, any kind of a Montreal steak seasoning, believe it or not, anything that you like. Or you can just do a very light blackening seasoning. So anyway, I wanted to let you know what that was. And like I said, you can substitute out whatever you like. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to start wrapping the shrimp. Super simple. When I do the shrimp, I season them after I wrap them in the bacon. I don't want to do them before and after because then the spice is too strong for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shrimp. Now, a lot of times when you see recipes like this, they tell you to get a toothpick. And honestly, I found that that's really not necessary. All you're going to do is take your piece of bacon. Your shrimp should be dry to the touch, not real wet. And then you're just going to take this, and all you're going to have to do is just wrap it around the bacon and then push it down hard, and then that bacon will stick to itself. So you don't need to use a toothpick and then you have to get one out and then, take it out after you cook it. Just take your bacon, overlap it a little bit, stretch it a little bit, and then press it down, and it should stay just fine. If the bacon hangs out a little bit, no problem, doesn't matter. Just take it, like I said, and it doesn't have to look perfect or be perfect. We're going to do one more. We're going to wrap it really good, press it against there so it sticks, and then you're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up the rest of these shrimp. Rich is on the other side of the camera today. He says hi. And he's going to be the recipient of this wonderful dinner. So he's happy to help me anytime when I'm cooking. So anyway, we're going to take a little break, finish wrapping these up, and then we're going to go to the next step.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah.
While you're wrapping, I do have a couple questions for you.
Yep.
Bacon, any specific type?
Here's the thing. I have used applewood bacon one time, and I did not like it. So I would not suggest that. And I would also just not suggest a thick cut bacon because it's going to be too hard to wrap. So I would just say just your favorite regular flavored, bacon, any kind, store brand, whatever, doesn't really matter.
Okay. And question number 2. What about maybe prepping this the day before if you have a party or something?
You can, and that's actually a really good point. This is a really nice dinner where you can get everything ready ahead, and then when your guests get there, you're done, and all you have to do is get the shrimp out and then saute them. And I mean, how super easy is that? All the mess is already cleaned up, and you're ready to go. So that's a really good suggestion and a good idea. Okay, so we finished wrapping the shrimp, and just to give you an idea, we have a little bit of bacon left, and what I usually do is I take this and I put it in the freezer in a Ziploc, and then if I'm doing something like some green beans or whatever, I throw it in there. But you probably won't need the whole thing, but you'll need most of it. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to season the shrimp. Now, first, I want to just show you all this because this is really a great thing to have. We got this from a little restaurant supply store, but you could get this somewhere like the Yoder's Country Market that we went to, or a kitchen store, Target. And what it is it's a little shaker that you can fill up with your seasoning. Rich uses this for seasoning when he makes his own rub for his briskets and things like that, ribs. And then so he fills it up, and then we season his ribs and all with this. So this is nice because then the next thing you're going to do, and again, you'll see I'm using the same little aluminum foil trick. I'm telling you, this is the way to go. And then all you need to do is sprinkle that seasoning on your shrimp. Now you can go heavy or you can go lighter, whichever you prefer. Like I said, personally, I don't want it to be like where you can't see the bacon, because to me, then all you're tasting is the blackening seasoning. And if you've not used the blackening seasoning, definitely see how hot it is before you sprinkle it on your shrimp, because, it might be a bit hotter than you like. Okay, so we flipped them all over, and now we're just going to do the other side. When you flip them over, if you ever have a little piece of bacon that starts coming off, don't worry about it. just mash it back down on there. I've found that the bacon usually sticks to itself pretty well, especially as it warms up while you're getting the shrimp ready. So we've got them all seasoned. And like I said, if you want a little bit more, once you've made them the first time, you might say, oh, I'd like it to be a little bit more or a little bit less. And I don't put any lemon juice. I know a lot of people use lemon juice on everything, but there's really not any reason to. The predominant flavors of the bacon and the seasoning are going to be what you are going to be tasting. You don't really want to have a lemon flavor in there. It's really not necessary. Also, you could take something if you like Old Bay. I know a lot of people like Old Bay. I like Old Bay. You could take Old Bay and blackening seasoning, mix it together and sprinkle that on as well if you wanted to do that. So what we're going to do then is we're going to take these over to where we're going to pan-sear these. And after I get them all in the skillet, we're going to just ball this up like we did the other one and throw it into the garbage can and another easy cleanup. So today, since we have a nice area to show you everything here, we're going to use this. I would normally use it on my gas stove, but it's kind of tight over there to film. So we keep this little induction burner in our RV for when we're camping. And I figured I'd just bring that out and use it so there's plenty of place, you know, for you to be able to see. So the next thing I do is get my nonstick skillet. Now, I like nonstick just because it's easy to clean up. You can use whatever you want, it doesn't matter. And a good olive oil. So we're just gonna drizzle the bottom of this pan with olive oil, and we're gonna let that get hot for just a minute. As soon as that oil starts getting hot, you can see it gets real easy to move around. We're gonna put those shrimp in there and we're gonna get them going.
Ooh, I hear it.
Now I really could have let this get a little bit hotter. I have it on probably in between medium and medium high, because you don't want to burn this bacon before the shrimp are cooked. So you don't want to get it too terribly hot, and you don't want to crowd it too terribly much either. So we're going to put in probably about half of them, and we'll do the first half, and then we'll take those out, and then we'll do our second half. If you think you need a little extra, it's not going to hurt anything. All right, so we're going to let those start cooking, and when they're ready to flip, we're going to come back and show you what we're looking for to know they're ready to turn. Two other things that, while we're waiting for these to cook, that Rich brought up was salt and pepper. I do not salt and pepper these because they're going to have plenty of seasoning from the blackening seasoning. It's not really necessary. Plus, you've got the saltiness of the bacon. So if you salted them, then they might be too salty. The second thing is, Rich said, what about the smell in the house? People don't like that. Well, first of all, we're used to that, so it doesn't bother us. In the summer, I might cook them outside on the side burner of the grill. But honestly, because these are wrapped in bacon, the predominant smell you're going to have in your house is going to be the cooked bacon smell. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about it too much. But we're looking at the time on these so I can give you an idea of how long it's taken. And then we're ready to flip them. We're going to come back and show you what they look like. All right, now these are ready to flip. You can see that that bacon on the other side has just gotten a little bit of brown.
Oh, yeah.
That one's a little crispy and brown. Maybe turn it down a little. I've got it maybe a little hotter than I usually do. This induction is a little weird anyway because it cooks a little hotter on the inside. But these will be perfectly fine.
Oh gosh, it's blackened.
Yeah, I mean, it's the blackening seasoning that's mostly making them look like that. So these are going to take probably about 3 more minutes on this side. Then we're going to take them out, and we're going to do the second half of our shrimp. I put half in. I kind of counted them to make sure I was running right. And then we're going to take a look at them and show you what everything looks like when we're done. All right, so I'm going to take out this first batch, put them on my platter. If you wanted these to stay hot, you can certainly take them and put aluminum foil over them. We're just going to do this second batch and then get ready to eat them, so I'm not going to bother.
I noticed you don't have any paper towels on your plate there.
No, I don't. And the reason I don't like to do that with these is because it sticks to the shrimp when you take them out. But you could do that if you wanted to. Just be careful. that they don't, stick to the paper towel when you're ready to serve them. So we're gonna drizzle a little tiny bit more olive oil.
So you're just gonna use that
here.
same oil. I guess
Yeah,
it's not burnt that
if
bad.
if you thought maybe you overcooked them a little bit or something, you can take this oil and change it out and start with fresh olive oil. But since we're blackening them anyway, they're gonna have that kind of a, I don't want to say burn, but that kind of a blackened flavor,
yeah.
so it doesn't really matter that much.
Oh yeah, you got it smoking hot.
Yeah, if I was searing scallops or something like that, then I would definitely take this and I would trade it out for fresh olive oil just because it would be better for them. So what we're going to do with this now, like I said, is we're going to just take this and we're going to roll it up like we rolled up our shrimp shells and simply give it a toss into the can.
There's the second batch. These look good.
All right, so we're all finished with these. Now we've got the shrimp ready to go. We're going to steam some fresh broccoli crowns with that. And Rich has said he would be our taste tester.
Yes, my favorite part. Mmm. That is so good. I mean, you don't get anything better than this at a restaurant. I guarantee you that.
No. And you don't get that many. If you get a good deal on shrimp at the grocery store and bacon on sale, you can have this meal. You'd spend 3 or 4 times as much on it, eating it out. So. All right. Well, Rich, I'm going to let you finish those up. So I'm going to put in the description below what we did to make these. It's super simple. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. We just thought we'd do something different, like I said, because we're not camping right now because it's winter time. We usually don't camp in December, January, February. So there's not a lot going on. And honestly, we don't eat out once a week. So thanks for joining me. Let me know if you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And please leave in the comments if you'd like us to sprinkle these videos in as well. I love to cook. Rich loves to smoke. Maybe we'll even throw a smoking.
And I love to eat your cooking.
So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.